There's many thousands of ladies right now that are going, ooh, double Tommy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey everybody, it's Old School Nerd. Welcome in. It is Friday and it's Content Creator Friday, which means we start off with a Tommy Johansson reaction, followed up by a Leo Maracchioli Frog Leap Studio reaction. Now I have no idea what Leo's doing later on. His clothing speaks for itself. But we do know what Tommy's doing today. He's doing Gary Moore, and it's not exactly a shocker, okay? Because lately Tommy has been doing TNT and Gary Moore a lot, and that's fine. I'm glad someone's holding the torch up for that. Now, for those who do not know who Gary Moore is, and I know some of you don't know, okay, that's Gary Moore. This picture was taken in 1989 on a TV channel called VH1. Now, for those who did not know this, okay, some of you young people, before the internet, yes, at one point, not too long ago, 30 years ago, there was no internet. And there was no YouTube. I know, shocking. And so to watch music videos, you had to go to two TV channels here in the US. Now, what they had in Europe and the UK, I'm not sure if it was Sky or I know there was a show called Top of the Pops. See, I pay attention. But in the United States, there were two TV channels. One was called MTV. Now, for those who don't know what MTV stands for, because MTV is still around, it stood for music television, which means they used to play music videos on television. I know, it's shocking. It didn't happen, but it did. There was another one called Video Hits 1. We know it as VH1, but back in the day, they used to play music videos on the television because there was no YouTube and there was no TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or any of that. I know. Some of you are like, what? But those of you out there who are my age, older, maybe a little younger, you remember the days when you had to actually do shit through your day. Well, speaking of getting stuff done, Gary Moore is rocking this mullet. Now, I know that Tommy has done many amazing Gary Moore covers. The late, great Gary Moore was a member of Thin Lizzy and a few other bands, but most of us here in the United States knew him as part of Thin Lizzy with classics like Emerald, The Boys Are Back in Town, Whiskey in the Jar. I mean, it was quintessential. Now, he went on to do other projects. Now, here's the one thing that a lot of you don't know. Gary Moore could play anything. Blues, jazz fusion, metal, rock. He was a guitarist, okay? It's why a lot of guitarists like Tommy love this guy so much. He did so much. Now, going back to what's going on, Tommy's been doing a lot of Gary Moore reactions, and we love you, Tommy, but here's the thing. I don't care how many you do, until you cut your hair like this and get you a nice Euro-Irish power mullet, you're still kind of falling short. Now, me just saying that makes the fans of Tommy cringe. If he cuts those beautiful golden locks, they're going to blame me, and I'm going to get pipe bombs in the mail. Please do not pipe bomb my house. All right, here we go. Tommy's going to do this amazing cover of this song, actually.
And put a like.
Yeah, please put a like on this reaction, but go to Tommy's original one.
And put a like.
But then I'm going to challenge you even more. I'm going to put this video from Gary Moore, the original one. I'm going to put that one in the description too. I want you to go watch the classic from the late, great Gary Moore and
put a like.
See the pattern that we're going with, and I appreciate it. Man, Gary Moore was better than advertised. He's just outstanding. Now, for those who've never heard the song from Gary Moore, it's called After the War. It stars what appears to be, and it's not, but it looks like a very young Viggo Mortensen getting his hair shaved, putting on a U.S. Army military uniform from like 1982. And it's this whole rendition of joining the army and after the war and after, yeah, it was PTSD before PTSD. I mean, Floor Jansen just did a song called Invincible. Gary was doing it back in the 80s. Now, here's the thing. I'm not telling you any more about this song. However, I challenge you to listen to Tommy's and to listen to Gary's. There's going to be some unique differences. Number one, in the 1980s, especially in 89, when Gary Moore released this song for VH1, it's very keyboard forward. More keyboards than guitar. That was the priority back then, even in rock, because they were obsessed with keyboards back then. Tommy's is also going to have the keyboards because it is Tommy. He does love playing the keyboard and the guitar. But Tommy's is going to be more guitar forward, bringing it back to that power metal. Remember, Tommy says this is a power metal cover. So you can expect two things that are going to be different from this Gary Moore original. Number one, keyboards will take a backseat to guitars. And at some point, Tommy's going to do the gallop beat, which is referred to in power metal, where you take your rhythm section and your guitars, bass, drums, the whole 9 yards, and you make it sound like this. Dun, 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 dun. It sounds like a horse galloping. It's the horse gallop power metal rhythm run. We know it. It's made famous by every power metal band, past and current. So, all right, here we go. Tommy Johansson, his amazing tribute power metal cover to Gary Moore, the late great Gary Moore, After the War. Get out of the way, Gary. This is very like, this sounds like Gary's. It's a very good cover of Gary Moore's original. He does allow the keyboards to shine through, which in Gary Moore's original, and like I said, the link is in the description to check it out. Please do. Gary deserves people to see his amazing stuff. Even now, we lost him back in 2011, and he died. We lost him way too young, but I still think his music needs to live on. I appreciate Tommy doing this. Notice how Tommy is playing his urban camouflage signature that he plays in another band that he's a part of that maybe sings a little bit about wars. It's not exactly a stretch for Tommy's what I'm saying. Playing an urban camouflage guitar signature style while singing about a song that has the word war in it. I mean, we've seen people do covers of songs and they're like, wow, they really had to work to get to that level of theming. Not so much, Tommy. Not so much. It's actually in his wheelhouse. A lot. Let's watch the rest of it. Let's go. There's many thousands of ladies right now that are going, ooh, double Tommy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but it was funny. That was one hell of a sustained note. By the way, of all the things that he's done so far in this video, that's the most Gary Moore tribute thing he's done. Okay, a lot of guitarists feel like when they do their guitar solo, they have to immediately go way up on the fretboard and go super high and screechy. Gary Moore was known to stay in the low end just like this. And it was one of those bluesy, jazzy feels that he was known for, where he could literally do an intricate guitar solo and still stay on the low end. That's a very Gary Moore thing that Tommy's doing right now. It's awesome. Also, to reiterate, a lot of women said, oh, double Tommy earlier. You know what nobody ever says? Ooh, double old school. The only person who's ever said that was Chelsea, and the only reason why she said it was because she realized if there were two of me, I could cook dinner and cut the grass at the same time. Honey-do list, people. Honey-do list. All right, now, okay, I know that when I say this, there's going to be many people in the comments going to go, there's no such thing. What if I told you there's a more adorable Tommy than what you're seeing on the screen right now? Yes, there is. Now, I want you to go back to 1989, okay? Okay? I want you to imagine a very, very young, possibly in diapers, Tommy Johansson. In diapers. In front of a really large TV in his mom, his dad's house, maybe even his grandparents, uncles, aunts, whatever, wherever he was hanging out when he was in Sweden. Gary Moore playing the video on whatever VH1 was in Sweden, and his little diaper booty just shaking. Now, you tell me that's not the most adorable Tommy Johansson thing you could think of right now. I don't know what to tell you. Could you imagine? Think about it. I know there's a lot of you out there. You watch my videos and you tell me how much you love Tommy. I want you to imagine right now, Tommy Johansson with toddler, puffy, poofy little baby cheeks. And you just squish him. Okay. Yeah. Can't wait to see the Funko pop of that. All right, everybody. My name is Old School Nerd. That was Tommy Johansson doing what he does best, which is doing tribute to a really great musician we lost way too young. To the late, great Gary Moore. And I mean, for all the amazing guitar greats that we remember easily, Gary Moore, I'm glad that there are musicians like Tommy that keep his legacy alive, because the stories need to keep being told. I mean, there was some amazing musicians in the 80s that were overshadowed and were lost to the internet. And fortunately for us, Tommy is not letting those things die. So, hey, Tommy, do all the Gary Moore and TNT reactions and covers you want. We'll keep reacting to them. You want to throw in some stuff that the regular masses know? That's fine. Just let us know. Thank you for this one. Hey, love one another. Take care of each other. We're all stuck on the small ball together. We'll see you a little bit later. Thank you, Tommy. As always, you know I'm your biggest fan that lives in this house. That's not true. That's not true. Chelsea just gave me the look. Chelsea, okay. Chelsea's the biggest fan of you in this house. She's mad. Okay. Speaking of double old school, I got to go do my honey-do list. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right there. Big thank you to all my Patreons out there. We appreciate everything you do. If you want more content like this video, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. We'll see you later.